Hi there, I'm Amy Murray from Teaching Exceptional Kinders, and today I'm here to chat all about kindergarten registration assessments, like the screening tools that you use to get to know your incoming kindergartners. See, in kindergarten world, it's a little bit different when we're planning classes and class lists and trying to break kids into groups that will work. When we send our kindergartners off to first grade, we know a lot about them and we know how we hope we know how to group them and mix them up so the right personalities are in the right spaces and the right academic abilities and all of those things are evenly distributed. And then when those first graders go to second grade, we know even more. But our kindergartners are coming to us and their names on a sheet of paper who we likely haven't met yet, unless you're lucky enough to have a pre-K or a preschool within your school system. I was never so lucky. So you get kids who are coming to you from all different various backgrounds and you're like in a rush to get to know them. Some schools do like flexible grouping for the first week and then get to know the kids and then put them into their permanent classes. I, for a couple of years, was the only kindergarten teacher at my school. We taught half day, so it really didn't matter if we did that. They were stuck with me either way. But it was still nice to have some information about the kids before the school year started. And using an assessment screening tool at your registration or roundup day is a great way to gather that information in a logical and organized way. So if you have a kindergarten roundup day or a registration day, meet the teacher day, whatever it is your school district calls it, this would work great for there. If you don't and you're looking to revamp things, I will leave a link to the blog in the comments. I wrote a blog about using station rotations at your roundup or meet the teacher registration day, whatever it's called, where you are. And using just simple station rotations to get to know your kiddos. It is not as difficult as it sounds. Once you've planned it once, you can reuse it each year and it goes smoothly. But this is just the assessment tool or screening tool to use. So I always joke, half joke, because it's kind of true, that I can learn everything I need to know, not everything, but a lot of what I need to know about a kiddo by asking them to write their name. If they're picking up a pencil, probably not a mechanical pencil, and writing their name, you can see how they hold the pencil. Are they doing this? Do they know how to hold a pencil? Some kids you're going to get, they've never held a pencil before. Scary as that sounds, it happens. And I think it happens more and more as we see technology grow. So they don't know how to hold a pencil, or they're writing in all capitals all over the place. Or they pick up their pencil, they hold it perfectly, and they write their name very neatly with the capital to start and lowercase for all the rest. And you're like, okay, that kid's got at least something together, right? Or their fine motor skills are great. Things, and somebody's been working with them at home since they've learned how to do this. You can tell a lot just by their fine motor. So I always have them write their name and I keep it somewhere so that I have a record of what that looked like. Okay. The other thing that I think is more important, honestly, than academic skills is some kind of personal information. Can you tell me your name? Can you tell me your last name? Can you tell me how old you are without showing me fingers? Can you give me the number? Do you know when your birthday is? Some of those things kids just don't know yet, like birth date. Sometimes they don't know. Some really do. So it tells you kind of a lot about their background information and what they can pull from and how easily they can access that information. So I find that to be interesting. When you are screening your students also is going to matter. If your screening is happening in March of 2022, like now in March, and you're not going to have these kids in class until the following August or September, a lot of learning can happen with a 5-year-old between March and August. So do they know all their letters? Maybe not yet, but that doesn't mean when they walk through your door in August that they will or won't, that can change. So I like to assess more preschool standards, not kindergarten standards when I'm getting to know my students. But In the school where I taught, most of our students, at least 50% of them, did not attend a preschool. Some were in preschool, some were in daycare, some were at home. Most were at home with their families. And so it was just a big mix. And so then you got the full spectrum of ability levels once they got to school. So let's take a look at the editable screening tool that I have in my store. This tool is completely customizable, so you can make it work for your school. So I was saying that I prefer to do preschool skills. So mine might look like this. Okay, so this is what the student would look at, and I would certainly cover it up and say, all right, here are the colors, right? Tell me the color names. Yep, these are numbers. Can you tell me what number you see? And point to the numbers. Same with the letters, and then the shapes. Now, if they don't know, if they can't just expressively say red, orange, you could also say, okay, where is the blue? And have them find it. So you could do it both ways if they're not able to express that to you. So that was the student page. And then to go with the student page, you'll have your recording page. Okay, you'll notice it says your school name here. You can put your own school there. You could put Mrs. Murray's kindergarten there. You could put whatever it is there. The kindergarten and registration assessment are also editable if you need to change those as well. Yeah. Then you have where they'll write their name is right here. I'll tell you why in a second. Then the personal information I talked about, there's the colors, numbers, and you just mark what they know. And there's a place for additional comments at the bottom. I will caution you, when we did this assessment, the reason it's set up the way it is, and where it says personal information, it says I can tell my first name, I know my birthday, that kind of thing, is because we gave a copy of this to parents for them to take home with them. So they had something tangible to take home and say, oh, Johnny's working on finishing identifying his colors, or, oh, he doesn't know all those letters yet. Maybe we should start there. And that way they had it. We put this on the NCR paper. So I think that's NCR is the right term. So the white page, and that has the pink and the yellow page. And so we kept the pink and the yellow. It doesn't matter which one you keep, but we kept copies for ourselves. The teacher put one in our folders. Parents took one home, and then the other one could go to speech and language. It could go in their permanent file. It could go wherever it needs to go. But that way everybody has the copy of it, and you don't have to go to the office and make copies, just pass them out on the day of. So that is one of the forms. So this is the teacher fills out, and this is the kid fills out. And honestly, getting this done, I think took about 5 to 6 minutes per kid. We wanted to keep it as simple and short as possible. And obviously, if the kiddo was struggling, you would just end and you could just note gently, was not able to complete, or something like that. There is a space at the bottom for additional comments. Keep those positive. If you are sending these papers home to mom and dad, you don't want it to say would not stop crying with 3 underlines, or could not sit still with 3 underlines. You could write extra energy or very social, things like that. But please, if you need to write something like can't sit still, or something that maybe isn't so happy, jot it on your copy. Don't send it home for parents, because part of this is making a good first impression with parents, so that you're building that relationship from the beginning, which is so, so important. All right, I'm going to pause and share my screen and show you what this looks like on your end, so you can take a look at the PowerPoint and what is changeable and what is not changeable. Be right back. All right, here is the editable PowerPoint that is the teacher page, so the recording page. So you have all your directions here, how to insert things. These are the 3 fonts. They are free for personal use. You can download them very easily using these links and have them on your computer. Then you will be able to see the format that looks like this. Okay, so here's your format the first few pages, so this is the simple one I showed you with less academics. Here you'll find more academics and even more. This has lowercase letters as well as sounds, and you can pick and choose. You can copy and paste some sections from here onto here, whatever works best for your class. As you come down here, you'll see now is where you can put Mrs. Murray Elementary kindergarten registration. You could say, if you don't like registration, you could say roundup, whatever it is that works best for you. Over here, if you want to change this information, you can. I find that it's nice to have that so you can keep things organized and you can quickly see how old a student is at the top, because also in kindergarten age and developmental milestones play a lot into it. So then you can change all of the information here to be whatever it is you'd like it to be. If you don't want it to be letters or colors, you can change it. If you don't want number totals here, or you want to change the totals, by all means, you can change whatever you'd like there. Same for all of these. You want a different letter order. Maybe you want to do the letters that in the order that you introduce them. You can change all of those as well as the lowercase here. Okay, so that's pretty straightforward. Let's share the other screen, which is the student page. Here we go. So you've got the fonts again, just in case you haven't downloaded them yet. And then here's your student assessment page. Now, my printer prints these out as I showed you earlier, and you can really see, I don't know if you can see me up here in this little corner, but those colors are true to the colors. If you print this out and it doesn't print true to those colors, you can certainly click in here and then you'll have all your fill options and you can pick your different colors there. You may add or change shapes. You can change the fonts. You can do whatever you'd like here, but this is your starting point. So this is the simple version. This has a little more academics. You got your lowercase letters and your numbers there. You could easily make these uppercase. There's a very easy way to do that while I'm here. If you highlight them all and in PowerPoint, go up to this spot right here and pull down and choose uppercase, it will change them all. And if you choose lowercase, it will change them all back. So that's a simple way to fix that. And here is without the colors. And this. Now you could also just print out and use the versions that you want to use. You know, you print the color page and you could print this page and do it all. It's totally up to you, but it is customizable for you to make it work for your school, because I understand that no school is the same. If you have any questions at all, don't hesitate to reach out at Amy. My email is amy@teachingexceptionalkinders.com. I will leave that below. I will leave a link to a blog that further explains this assessment tool, how you can use it in your kindergarten roundup setting, as well as the station rotations that I mentioned before. I hope that you have a lot of luck welcoming your incoming students and an awesome school year.